Where we last left our heroes, while venturing through the overgrowth in an attempt to find a way into the Feywild, our heroes came across a tribe of fairies that had their a magical stone that they called their sigil stone stolen and their village destroyed by a tribe of redcaps. Tracking the tribe to a nearby cave, they discovered that the redcaps were not operating under their own cognition, but that of a hive of invading mind flayers. The mind flayers, seeking a new home away from the void which they come, did not seem like they could be reasoned with. Through a series of harrowing battles, leaving the party bloodied and thoroughly mentally eviscerated at numbers of points, including leaving Wolfgang at death's door on one occasion, the party managed to destroy the invading mind flayers and recover the sigil stone for the Pixies and their now king or prince going by Plum Boy. As they rested outside the cave with their newly acquired friend, a red cap by the name of Kimberton Wumperstump, who happened to have a bit of a brain injury that happened to keep the mind flayers out of his head, they must now decide what to do and where to go next. So after a well-earned rest, you guys are all fully rested, and nothing seemed to have encroached on you throughout the evening.
Lani, by any chance, during that long rest, is there a possibility that I could have ritually casted Identify on all the spoils of the Mind Flayer invasion?
Ooh. Absolutely.
I believe there was the wand, the armor, and the sword.
Oh, yeah, we have Void Scale Mail and a Void Sword.
Sure thing. Let me pull up the stats for those. All right. Now, you can ritually cast Identify on these, but as they are of otherworldly design and structure, I'll still need you to make an Arcane check on each of them. Which one would you like to check first?
I will check the wand first.
All right, give me an Arcane check.
That is a 22.
This wand's properties are strange and alien. They seem to possess... this wand seems to possess an ability and affinity towards basically getting into the minds of unwilling subjects. This is a wand of Dominate Monster.
Oh dear. This is an awfully cursed item. Oh boy.
Oh no. A wand.
Yeah. It's
I want it.
It has 3 charges on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they will reset pretty much every week. Or every full moon.
3 charges.
Every month?
Yeah, so every month. I misread what I had written.
Ooh. All right. Veneer is making sure to pocket that. And next up is the Scale Mail. And
right,
that
give me
is going
an
to be
Arcana check.
Arcana check of 18.
This mail that, as you examine it, it doesn't seem to have much by way of active magic power to it, but there is a sense of a abjuration, like your affinity towards this magical type, even though it's alien, it does seem to have like some abjurational effect to it. This mail is treated pretty much as mithril mail. Mithril chain, mithril scale, however you want to say it. And it gives you resistance towards psychic-based attacks.
Ooh. That is nice.
Congrats
Ginger needs
to you.
that
Yeah,
so
you deserve
bad.
that. You deserve that so much, man.
Yeah. Congrats.
Oh, I don't know.
Use it, though?
Wolfgang is currently in possession of it, though.
It is technically light. It is technically light armor.
Can wizards use light armor? Are they proficient in that?
They cannot unless they. At least last I checked. I don't know. You might have taken a feat that lets you. But
Nope, I have not taken any kind of feat that would allow that.
So only Wolfgang and Asmo, right?
For
Okay,
now.
What about Nara? What about Nara?
Nara is a
Sorcerers.
sorcerer. I don't think they
Yeah,
have
I don't-
proficiency either.
I don't think
You are
so.
correct. No.
Yeah.
I was misremembering that. I have a sorcerer who is a hobgoblin, and he is proficient in light armor because of hobgoblin.
Right.
Misremembered that.
But not me.
So I guess that's going to me. So this is mithril scale mail.
Yes.
Mithril scale mail.
We're not
gives
giving
you-
the stale mail to the snake. All right.
He's
Well,
got
he
mithril
already
plate.
he already
Already
has
has
very
mithril armor.
Yeah,
he
he's
already
fine.
has
Yeah, I'm
mystical
good. I'm
shit.
good, right, guys. I'm good on gear. I'm good. You guys
Are
need
you
some more.
sure? Are you sure?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm fine.
So yeah, your void scale mail also gives you resistance to psychic damage.
And that is.
All right.
That is very nice. And
Last up
finally,
is the sword.
wow, 16 on the sword.
Okay.
It definitely has it definitely has some magical property to it that you don't know quite how to activate, unfortunately. This is going to take somebody who I mean, you can either study this over a longer period of time, or you can find somebody who might know how to crack the code that these, like, even though you're kind of figuring out their other artifacts, this particular weapon is just like a little out of your pay grade.
Okay.
What can you tell me more about this sword, Nick? Like, this really paint a picture with this bad boy.
Sure. The sword has an almost mirror shined ebon blade, just the purest of blackness, that if you stare into it, you almost see this like shaded reflection of yourself. It's polished to a pure mirror shine, but it also seems to like trap a lot of the light that would be reflected off of it. While not in an active state, you remember when it was in the hands of that mind flare, it came to life with this emblazoning dark flame. The hilt looks to be wrapped in a thick, but like kind of like this thick, coarse rubber-like flesh. It has like kind of the consistency of leather. If it were just
Like
like
the
a
flap
little
sheets?
plusher. A bit, yeah. Like very, very similar to their flesh. What appears to wrap around it, and the like the hand guard seems to take the form of two writhing tentacles twisting on each side, curling up the blade.
Asmo pretty much just looks at Nara. Asmo says, "Nara, aren't you take that sword?"
She's had sparkles in her eyes staring at it. Just like the curled up fists at her chin being like, "Oh, it's
Oh,
so pretty."
I was thinking of taking it. Because something
Yeah?
about that blade, but what are you using right now for your close combat weaponry?
I want to look at Nara's loadout. What's Nara's loadout looking like there, Caitlin?
I mean, I've got Tango Muerte, which I can use close up or at a distance. So,
That is true.
and I have that sword that was like Kinch's fam or whatever. What was it?
It was that sort of
It's now known as Man's Bane.
Man's
Now,
Bane.
the
Yeah.
question about this sword, Nick, is it a two-hander or one-hander?
It is a long sword, so it's versatile. You can use it with two hands or one hand.
Okay.
Oh, and the pommel, it seems to take the shape of an eldritch eyeball.
Fun Nemesis blade. Okay.
Nara
Asmo.
turns to Asmo and goes,
If you had that one, it is like our weapons match somewhat. Because mine is black and yours would be black also.
My scales are
That's
black.
cute.
Yes, that as well.
Asmo looks down at he looks actually down at Kabuto, like is the ice dagger, and he's been using it kind of when he's wielding the shield. And Asmo kind of like hooks it to his belt a little bit, and Asmo goes up, and Asmo grabs the blade.
I want you to make me a wisdom save
I knew it.
as
I
you grab
knew
the
it!
sword.
Oh, it's a 12, Nick.
As you lift it up, you admire the blade. You see your reflection in the blade. Your reflection smiles at you.
Uh-oh.
You seem almost entranced by yourself within the blade. Asmo's just standing there. Seems to be like kind of admiring the blade to the rest of you.
Can I talk? Can I talk to everybody?
Wait, doesn't he have?
At the
mithril
moment you are
something?
at the moment you're kind of lost in your own eyes.
Doesn't he have mithril stuff too that blocks that stuff?
No.
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 Oh.
He has regular mithril armor. This is
No,
And
he
Yeah,
has,
stuff
and he,
I have
and he
on
has
it.
no. Like, one thing we've never added in my character sheet. Do I have Indomitable right now?
that would
It's-
that
well,
would that
it's
give
been
you
a long rest,
advantage?
so
You,
Been
you
a long
would
rest.
you would have Indomitable. What does Indomitable do? Does that give you like?
let's
I don't know. It's
re-roll
not on my
a saving
character sheet.
throw.
I can't find my book.
Oh my
Rerolls
god.
a
Let's
failed
reroll a saving throw.
fail save.
So in other words, it would be like rolling with advantage.
It's a reroll.
I mean, if you wish to re-roll this save, then go for it.
Okay. I'm blowing my Indomitable roll here, but I really feel like this. For those saying, why haven't you fixed that yet, Taka? Do you think I know Roll20? You fucking think I have had the time to learn that fucking program? Anyways, like, I'm
Alright.
really catty with them on this one. I'm like, you fucking think I know how to use this goddamn
Just-
science?
Go ahead and re-roll their save.
Please win.
Yeah.
An 8. Yep, Asmo is just kind of staring at the blade. Seems almost like mesmerized by its shine.
Nara sees that he's looking at it for a really long time because she's the one that was like, "We will match," and walks up and taps him on the shoulder.
Asmo,
It
you were
is
awoken.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's something up with this one. I couldn't quite stop looking at it. By the way,
Asmo doesn't say anything about the smiling hand. Asmo just sheaths the blade.
What's wrong with it?
nah, it's clear. Well, it clearly didn't come from where we're from, so suffice to say, I think it's pretty good that I grabbed a hold of it instead of you.
Maybe.
For the sake of stats, I will add that in at the break for you into your
Sounds
inventory.
great, Nick.
Putting on this.
I also like that I don't
weird-
fully know about it, and I like that. That's fun. I don't fully know about this weapon.
Yeah.
Putting on the weird scale mail now.
You think about taking off that belt so you don't look as bulky and hefty there, bud?
I can hold the belt. I will hold the belt.
It's weird. It fits like right around the belt like a glove. It's crazy.
No,
Oh,
it's not
that's
true. You're lying. You're
So
gaslighting me. It did
wonderful
not
for
work.
you. But if it doesn't fit at any point, you let
I'll
me
be
know.
sure to. You'll be the first one to know.
He is never giving us his stat booster. He's never giving that back to us. It's never
Why
coming
would
to
I?
me. I
Why
know,
would I?
right?
All right.
Nara
so
looks
this
down
is-
and
this is-
concocts a plan.
So this is treated as light armor for
Yes.
the purposes of this. Excellent. I get one more AC then. Yeehaw. And I'm resistant to psychic damage.
Mm-hmm. Which is always nice to have.
I will put that down somewhere. Yeah. Oh, by the way, everybody has temporary hit points back.
9, correct?
Yeah.
Is it a 9 or 11? I
Yeah.
always get that confused between him and Panic.
I get temporary hit points equal to my warlock level plus my charisma modifier, so I get 15.
Mm.
And
We
then
get-
you get temporary hit points equal to half my warlock level plus my charisma modifier, so 5 plus 4 is 9.
Ah, of
Yes.
course.
Very nice.
Yeehaw.
All right, so you guys figure that out, and you. I'm guessing this is in the morning when you're divvying this stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining Asmo having like the chimera and this new blade at both hips, going ah. One shiny and nice and holy looking, and the other one's the complete reverse.
Oh my god.
That's actually one thing, because I realized chimera is very golden and very elegant looking. Correct?
Yes.
They're really much the opposite of each other. It's kind of beautiful.
Oh my god. Wait, does that mean you have like two like?
We'll find out. We'll find out what the second thing I have is.
Okay.
like here's the thing. My guy, I'm fighting against some very scary things. So every time Nick gives me something fun, I'm like, excellent. Without this, I wouldn't be here.
Oh my god.
We still have the flail snail shell as well. We'll probably have to figure that out when we get back into civilization proper.
I might be able to do something with that with my staff at some point.
Oh. Well, let's do a bit of theory crafting for a second here, because the flail snail shell, it clearly had some sort of reflective properties when it came to magic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, this would probably be up your alley. We have a couple, don't we?
I have
some-
ichor. I don't have shell.
I have the shell,
Yes.
although I think I only have the one. We'll bring it up whenever we come across like an armor smith or something. Maybe we can make some sort of speciality, and we'll use the shell with the staff as sort of a last minute emergency situation.
That works.
All right.
It works.
Okay. So,
What do we do? Wait, by the way, above game, I forget. Did we already decide what we're gonna do with Waffle Stumper?
He's sleeping on the couch right now, like one of those big old anime snot bubbles coming out of his nose to indicate he's asleep.
Good.
oh Jesus.
If memory serves right, the idea was that we take him back to the Pixie village and we see if they can help him get the rod out of his head.
Yeah, because they were gonna. Plum Boy was gonna go ahead of us and let them know that a red cap was gonna come back, and tell the scouts so that no one freaks out.
So now, are we traveling with Plum Boy, or has Plum Boy already left?
Plum Boy's still hovering around the where you guys decided to rest. Just kind of off somberly on his own right now. Essentially waiting for you guys to be ready to go for the day.
Put on my belt of giant strength and head out.
Instantly hear the Mario mushroom.
Nara's bottom lip is wibbling.
I'm getting huge.
So we fly him back, or we travel him back?
Oh well. I could easily get us all flying again. If that's be the way you wish to go, just need to have you guys stop some way out so that I can prepare the village.
Right.
Be
Probably
faster
wait
than the slow feet walking time.
significantly.
Let's start walking.
Then let's
is.
fly.
It is of the essence at the current juncture.
Yeah,
as far as we
yeah,
know.
yeah. Let's fly.
Then should probably wake our guest then. Points
I
over
would
to
advise
Wumplestump.
we may want to stay at the village for a few days just to make sure that the sigil stone is put back in place and properly set up.
Do we have time though to idle in the town for a couple days?
Days? I don't
Well-
think so.
Yeah, I don't think we have days. I can see
Whatever
in
you
character him wanting to do that, but in plot, I don't know if we have time for like waiting a couple days in a town.
Yeah,
Whatever you
I
think
can
is best.
understand that. At the very least, Daenerys can get the beginnings of it set up before they go.
We can always come back and check on it on our way out.
That's true. Oh,
Plus, you can keep in contact with Plum Boy with your fancy sending magic.
that is true. And Denier closes the divination book that he'd been reading while everybody was getting ready, and he stands back up.
Nara has been in various poses getting ready to fly.
Kimberton's still sleeping. Well, if you're about ready to go, then I'll get casting, I suppose. And you can see Plumboy preparing the amount of flight spells he's going to need. Kimberton starts to hover off of the spot where he's sleeping.
Do we just push him along then?
Nara ties a rope around his waist and then hands the other end of the rope to Asmo. Doesn't say anything, just hands it to him.
Thank you very much.
So weird.
Oh. Okay.
As you all begin to lift off of the ground, Plumboy begins to take flight as the rest of you would want to follow.
We are taking Pemberton Waffle Stumper with us, right?
Yes, he's
Yep.
currently at the end of a rope that you are now tugging on as you are flying with the party.
You have a red cap balloon. Congratulations.
Yep.
I don't know if he's floating. I mean, is he floating?
No, he's floating.
Yes. Yeah,
He has. So all of us are flying, but
he was
I tied
literally
a
the
rope.
first one I described to float.
Oh,
Yeah.
that cut out on my end. I'm so sorry.
Ah.
Okay, there we go.
yeah,
Excellent.
yep. You've
All
got.
right,
I was
so-
like, wait, are we leaving him behind?
No, no, no.
You are
You're
pulling him.
attached to him.
Yeah, you are pulling him on a rope. So as you begin flying through, the rope kind of drifts like side to side as you're pulling on it. He is sleeping like a rock. Asmo, I want you to make me a dexterity check. Not save, just check.
I see.
Oh,
See,
That's,
I knew
that's
that
21
was
next.
going to be a problem, so that's why
So
I didn't
that's-
take it.
That's a 10. So as you're pulling on the rope and just like guiding, every now and again you feel it like jerk, just poof, poof, poof. You turn your head and you just see him like bam through a bush, bam through like a tree, poof, poof, poof. Just
Hold firm and hope it uncoils as we move.
Eventually throughout the flight, he just starts kind of like waking up as you like drag him through another bird's nest.
Morning,
Where are we?
Morning, boss. We're on the way like you ordered last night before you went to bed.
I don't remember this, but it's pretty cool. Face first through another tree branch.
Oh my god.
I want you to know we found a way to work with this guy, and it is the greatest way to work with him.
Oh, it's so good. Nara is like running a full like 360-degree forward in loops. And like going on angles. Yep. She's just having a great time flying.
She's like just cartwheeling and shit.
Yes.
doing somersaults, flying above the canopy every now and again, dipping back under.
Acrobatics. Doing corkscrew, flying through the air. Yeah, every type of acrobatic flip.
Make me a perception check when you get above the tree line.
Okay. 20.
You can see all around you, like just this sea of trees. A little off to your northwest, you can see some fog kind of trickling around the base of the mountain. And outside of that fog, you see a patch of trees that look like as if it's kind of like fall, around the core of which appears to be, more dead trees. That's kind of off to the northeast of you, kind of like right up here at the center of that ping.
Let me... ping one more time, please.
Sure.
Okay.
And as you dip back down and rejoin the party,
Oh, that was weird. Near the base of the mountain, it looks like fall in one place, but also there are dead trees. And fog, lots of fog.
That might be the Ice Queen's domain.
Who's that?
Not that far north.
By the mountain?
Remember, they spoke of the Archfey of Summer and the Archfey of Winter.
The
They
Winter
said if
Queen.
the Winter Queen said that if it starts getting cold and running across a lot of dead trees, to watch out because she's very territorial.
We're to avoid the Winter Queen's territory.
'Twould be wise, methinks.
Does that mean we should do it anyway?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know much about Fae, but what I do know is that they can be quite temperamental. And most of them are quite powerful as well.
Daenerys thinks about Shinbi for a second, and he nods sagely.
Just a little sweat drop.
Shinbi nursing the worst hangover of his goddamn life right now. As you continue flying through the forest, at a certain point, Plum Boy starts to slow down, and like as you're getting closer to his territory, he asks you to kind of hold up as he drifts off ahead.
All right, we're parking down here for a moment.
As you slow down the rope that you're holding onto, Asmo, I need you to make an athletics check.
Absolutely. Athletics. Oh, so
Check.
that's
Check.
a saving throw.
Nope,
Check.
just athletics check.
Just check.
Okay. FYI. Now, when it's in that thing with acrobatics, animal handling, and arcana, that's all saving throws, correct?
Nope, that's just checks.
Those are skill checks.
Oh, 21.
The thing above it that says saving throws. Or
It's just
saving
I've
Yeah.
heard it used both ways. Sorry.
So as you stop, Kimberton just keeps flying ahead at pace, and you have to like just kind of pull the rope back as he shoots ahead. You're able to keep your grip on it as he pulls back around at the end of the tether. I've never been this high before.
Nara is standing with her like feet apart, mid-air, arms crossed, and like as if in one of those like oh my gosh, what are they called? Those like astronaut training spin you in every direction. She's just like spinning in every possible direction she can very slowly.
She's gonna fucking barf.
So I've been meaning to ask
slowly.
this. So I've been meaning to
So
ask
she
this
can
since I
eat
woke up.
everything.
I've been meaning to ask this since I woke up. But who are you guys?
Where are your friends?
Yeah, now. You're our boss. We're going on tour right now. We're heading on out. You're doing great, boss.
Gonna introduce you to a bunch of new friends soon.
Oh, that's great. Glad I'm doing good. See, I just can't remember a lot of things since the accident.
Right, the accident. We know it well.
Right. You probably told you about it if we've been traveling for a bit.
Yes, boss. You are also fixing relations between the Pixies and the Redcaps, since the accident caused some issue.
Oh, shoot. I wish I could remember. Oh, well. Do my best. After some time, Plum Boy returns along with I guess you could say a regiment of what could be considered Pixie soldiers. Like they're wearing this kind of like leafy armor with like acorn shell and stuff like around them. Holding like very small like weaponry made out of like condensed plant life. They insisted on coming for my protection after everything that's happened, and to witness him themselves.
And it was a good thing too.
Who are these guys? Kimberton like leans over to you, Nara, and asks.
These are the Pixies that you are fixing the diplomatic relations with, boss.
Gotcha. Hey there, my name's Kimberton Whumperstump. I'm here to fix you.
Oh.
They just kind of glance at Plum Boy, and he just looks towards them, Do any of you speak Sylvan? Or Slivan? Sylvian?
Not quite.
No.
Not unless you've given it to me as a part of my Fey Pact.
I have not.
If they start talking in it, I can use comprehend languages.
If you want to burn a spell on it.
Oh, that's a good point. I think I'll be fine.
In what sounds like basically really advanced Elvish, like something that goes beyond the frivolity of that language. You hear Plumboy. Viskins fals falafir nis disflanasen 14 fusfarum. Tas pora. Yeah, everybody's hearing him speak. Like he's not trying to hide it from you.
Is there anything in Elvish that I would get? Because I do speak Elvish.
I'd
So do
assume
I, but I give up after a bit.
It's kind of like trying to comprehend Chinese while knowing Japanese, you know?
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, so like sentence structure is a bit different. There might be some words that have a similar root, but Plumboy floats over to Kimberton, just kind of like pokes the rod in his head. That tickles. Also stop. And the pixies just sort of nod to each other, and half of the regiment seems to float back towards the village to prepare the rest of them. All right, let's carry on then, Plumboy says as he continues to fly forward. At a slower pace than before. But you guys fly your way back to the Pixie village. And are greeted by what appears to be like the remains of the village. A lot of the more frail are kind of like hiding back behind the remains of the tower that has, for the most part, crumbled, but like the base layer has still kind of stuck around because it hasn't completely faded yet.
Mm-hmm.
You see like some kind of like peeking out, you know, very trepidatious and scared. Others, you know, some men, women, and children just being like very excited to see you returning. It's a real mix of emotions from this crowd that has been through a lot in the past week or so.
As we're returning, I will lift the sigil stone above my head to show that we have returned with the sigil stone.
With that, you do start to hear some murmuring, more of that language that you can't quite comprehend, but you know to be the ancient Fey language. Then some like roars and cheers as as some of the pixies begin to kind of like flutter around you, like looking at the stone, examining it. You feel very warm as like all of the dust that's trickling from them just kind of like drifts down you like very glittery dandruff.
Oh no! Oh god, it's gonna be like the sand!
Wait,
But
what?
worse.
What?
He has glitter in his cat hair now.
Oh
So
no!
I got sand from the Great Sand Sea.
Oh,
in
that's
my fur,
right.
and I've never gotten it out. Now I'm getting glitter in my fur.
You're gonna be the most sandpapery, glittery cat anyone's ever seen.
It doesn't help that he hates baths.
Oh yeah, that's never happening.
As if they would be effectual at this point.
Fair.
You might
But
get
yeah,
most of it,
there's
but you'll never get it all.
there's a lot of rejoicing as they begin to realize what you brought with them. But as Kimberton floats in, just trying to do like essentially a breaststroke in the air. Look at me go! I'm going for a record. Once again,
God.
they're all
Go get 'em.
they all back up, and like there's a hush that falls over the village.
Nara goes up to Kimberton and whispers,
Boss, we're supposed to be really quiet right now.
Why?
It's like a ceremony thing. It's pretty important.
Give me a persuasion roll.
10.
That's stupid.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hi there, I'm Kimberton Whopperstump. I'm here to fix you.
He
It's
helped.
just like he's waving at the crowd that's just like gobsmacked looking at this monster that many of his guys were in here just stomping their loved ones to death not long ago.
Yeah. Well. Yep.
He aided in this endeavor. I'll just point at him while he's swimming around.
He tries to do a backflip, but instead just kind of like does this like weird wobbly turtle barrel roll.
And Asmo, that's your balloon that's swimming around, so have fun with that.
Oh, that's fun.
Plum Boy starts speaking to them in their native tongue, trying to coax them. I'm going to give him a persuasion roll. And then they seem to settle down as Plum Boy properly explains the situation, basically telling everybody in the village that this, like, what is to blame is not Kimberton or even any of the Red Caps in general, but these invasive monsters that had found their way into their land due to the destruction of the Sigil Stone. And if it weren't for Kimberton and you lot, they would be dealing with a lot more of them right now. That seems to settle people down, but they are still not psyched about Kimberton being in their village.
Understandable.
It'll take some time for them to come around.
I
But
understand.
in solidarity, we would like to throw you a feast at the very least.
Ooh.
Asmo just kind of looks.
All right, what kind of feast? We're kind of on a deadline.
Nara like comes up as well, like all hunched over and staring.
Well, we have never truly been equipped to feed people of your size, but by pooling enough of our magics, we should be able to throw a right proper fey feast for you.
Nara leans up to Asmo and very quietly whispers,
It's gonna be like 4 blueberries.
Contain your berries.
Plum Boy, like, looks down. Why?
"Oh my god."
I don't like these where now.
Oh.
I mean,
Anyway.
all of the pixies who are unarmored are essentially naked. Like, they have no reason to be clothed.
Whoa.
Right.
Asmo's just trying to ignore that the best he can.
Nara's like stifling her laughter and staring at Asmo like, you done messed up.
So anyone ever been to a Fey festival before? A Fey, like a meal? It sounds like something bad would happen.
Plum Boy just
Well, that's awfully
looks
presumptuous
around
of you, I suppose.
confused.
You know, we're allowed to have good things every now and again.
Denier has wandered off.
Oh, what do you think, Denier? Denier?
Just an outline of where Denier used to be. An outline of
Good
glitter.
A line of glitter.
Yeah, Denier's wandered off. He's at the Sigil Stone location, the archway.
A elder pixie comes, like, gingerly fluttering down towards you.
Haven't seen your kind around here before.
No, we come from the far, far south. But I'm here to try to at least get the beginnings of the Sigil Stone placed back and the protections placed back on this place before they come back.
Long time that stone's been there.
And
To have
hopefully-
one of your size return it seems appropriate.
Denier nods and gives a little bit of a smile. I've always, how do you say, had an affinity with the Fae. I want to do right by you.
It feels that way. You have a similar air about you to the one that originally granted it to us.
Arcanos, you mean?
So he calls himself.
And Daenerys going to be talking while he's looking over it, almost like he's trying to figure out how to like piece it back together or rebuild it using a combination of mending and his abjuration magics.
Give me an Arcana check.
Wow, this is even beyond my mission. That's that one.
Oh no!
Wow.
The sheer amount of damage that has been caused to this site leaves you befuddled. You know how this thing, like, you know the function of this thing, but the amount of arcane mastery that went into crafting this site is so far out of your scope that you may as well have basically been asked, how can I undo the universe?
Oh boy. Oh wow. Yeah, even with my considerable knowledge of abjuration magic, this is way beyond anything I'm capable of doing. Do you have anybody in town that knows anything about this?
Perhaps not in town, but a wayward traveler. One familiar with these parts. Perhaps they would know.
Who?
The pixie reaches up its hand as a white bird flutters down and lands at the tips of his fingers. This bird is larger, like about the same size as like the pixie's torso. But as he lowers his hand and the bird comes more into view, it begins to unfold its origami body.
An old friend of our people. An old friend of this land.
Tomine Pombus.
So he calls himself.
How far is he from here? Does it? He looks at the paper that's unfolding. Is Tom nearby?
This far out descriptors need not matter. Simply follow the bird. It'll take you where you need to go.
Daenerys gives a slow nod and he accepts the bird. You have my gratitude. I'm not sure what more we can do, at least for now, but at the very least we can seek out Tom and see what he has to say about getting the sigil stone back in place. Hopefully with it at least here for now, it'll safeguard the village again, and your dreams will no longer seep into the darkness that it once had.
We will protect it, and we will do our best to keep it functioning.
Daenerys gives a slow nod. He seems to be pondering, almost thinking about the sheer complexity of this sigil and the arcane gateway. Still got a lot more to learn. He gives a little bit of a shake of the head and he slowly starts wandering back towards the rest of the party if his good friend the elder Pixie has nothing left to say.
Are you going to leave the sigil stone there? Or are you carrying it with you?
It depends on what everybody like. Is there a position for it to be seated into it?
Due to the sheer destruction of like the area that it was ripped from, there's no real slot or place to set it. You could set it on top of the rubble, but
I'll set it. I will I'll set it onto the spot for the moment. At least that's where it's supposed to be.
The
And I'll
elder,
make-
the elder flutters down to it, gives you kind of a sagely nod as a few other pixies join the elder pixie, which is the elder is fairly androgynous in nature. You can't really tell, one way or the other, what gender this being is.
With the stone returned to the pixies, he nods, and he lets them go about their business as he turns back to the rest of the party.
As you return, you can see Plumboy conversing with them. So, what do you want to do with him exactly? Plumboy says, just kind of like motioning toward Kimberton, who's continuing trying to swim in the air as Asmo tries to keep him at the end of the rope.
Can we get the stick out?
I'm scared to. I mean,
Feel like it might do more harm than good at this point.
and that is fair.
I
just
just
kinda
kind of
like this
want to know what it does.
Do we leave him like this?
I thought about pulling it out myself a couple times, but figured the
Somebody-
rest of you would be upset at the outcome of that.
Do you think if they
Probably.
did experiments on the thing, you would just stay with it?
Potential death probably wouldn't be the outcome we wanted from just wanting to kind of look at it.
I guess.
My people are pretty good at healing. We might be able to figure out a way to get it out of there without killing him. But that would take time.
Time we don't have.
Like
best we
5 minutes?
Perhaps it's best we leave him in your care for the time being.
I could convince my people of such. Strange though it be, we do owe him.
I think
And
if you
you owe
keep him
us.
on the rope and flying, he'll be in a good mood.
I think we could manage that.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the way you'd have it, I'd see it done.
Very well.
Can you make some, magic rope, though? I kinda need that one.
I think we could conjure something up.
Thank you.
Magic
He nods.
rope.
He flutters off and starts talking to a few of, I guess, some of his more trusted pixie compadres, and they begin flying off.
What do you
Denier
need magic
returns.
rope for? Oh, hi, Denier.
Hey. So this thing is way beyond my comprehension. And we have a lead on who might be able to help us fix it. And Denier points over to the paper bird.
It flutters in Denier's hands.
A
I think
bird.
Tom might have a way to help. He's not
Tom.
really the interfering in mortal affairs type, though.
He does like stories, though. And if he could continue some cool story, maybe he'll help. Right?
At
Maybe.
the very least, he might be able to point us on the right path, even if he doesn't want to get involved.
I'll pull out my key that I have. There aren't many doors our size here.
There aren't any doors here.
There are no doors here.
You gotta build doors. You gotta knock down the walls, man.
Would that work? If we just build a door?
You've never tried.
It's probably more time than it's worth. I'll put the key away.
Plus, not to mention, we used it to get the Amber Glade.
Right. It refreshes every full moon, I believe. Well, no use dwelling on it. I'm sure we'll find Tom soon enough. At every pivotal moment of our journey, he seems to be there.
Well, apparently the bird will lead us to Tom.
Or that. That'll work too.
It is one of his flyers, after all.
Can we fly there?
Why?
Because it's so fun.
She turns to wait, Plum Boy is still there, or did he leave?
He's off seeing about getting a rope for you.
Okay. She will excitedly wait for his return to ask a question.
Without a Pixie accompaniment, I'm not sure that we'll be able to fly a bit, but we won't be able to fly too far.
Asmo, dexterity save.
Oh God!
Uh-oh.
Dexterity saving throw. This is what I'm talking about. Here we go. Natural 20. No, 12.
You feel the rope go slack,
Oh no.
and
I pull it towards me.
a moment before you can,
Uh-oh.
a moment before you're able to recognize the fact that it's gone slack, you hear a and right on top of you slams Kimberton Wumperstump. Heavy metal boots
God.
and all.
Ow!
Oh my god.
Oh no! I got anime cutscene.
Yeah, you crumple to the ground, taking 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
What happened?
I think we need a new way to carry Wumplestuffer. Boss, my.
This is why I handed you the rope.
Asmo just holds the rope. I want to believe Asmo's face is in the ground right now.
Yeah, you got
And
slammed
Asmo just
into
holds
the
up
ground.
the rope. He just holds up the rope to where Nara is and just kind of throws a. Just like. Towards her.
She'll try to catch it and be like, "Thank you."
And you see a shaky hand, thumbs up. Ow! Blows out mud out of his nose. It's like I'm home already.
Yeah, Kimberton kind of just rolls off you.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate it.
Welcome back, boss.
No problem. For what?
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god.
And if
This
you ever want to
poor
bring him
small
back and make him an
child.
actual D&D character, please put him in a party with me forever. I feel like I could always work with a character who's permanently being fisty first dated. It's just so great. What's happening? You're in love. I am.
Oh, that's so nice.
You have the perfect. It's like having the ultimate perfect skit partner because he just believes.
He is nothing but a yes-ander.
Oh my god, this is so good.
All right. So Plum Boy eventually returns. He has a rope that is made out of basically twined vines, and it's not magical by any expression, but they do have a well-woven rope out of vegetation. And return you your rope, Nara.
Alrighty.
So, Plum Boy,
Yes?
can you teach me how to do the flying?
It's just something that kind of comes naturally to my people. I mean, you're asking me, like, can I teach you how to breathe?
Yes.
You know, sometimes I wonder.
Nara shoots a very serious and like angry face at Wolfgang and then back to excited at Plum Boy.
Am I wrong?
Why are you
mean-
booing me? I'm right.
You know what? You've done my people a great service. Give me a little time. I think I can have something for you.
Okay.
And then she looks at Wolfgang like, see?
He just crosses his arms and just shrugs. If you want, I can teach you how to breathe as well.
Slow turn to Wolfgang with glinty eye.
I can hear the creak of it.
The fuck you say?
All this while, you can see the pixies kind of decorating the town. You can see this kind of trail of orchids and various wildflower blossoms growing on vines overhead, building this sort of canopy that, as the daylight begins to fade and shift to twilight, gives off this multicolored bioluminescent glow. As they continue to build canopies and work the vegetation, you can tell that they're setting up for a feast, that feast that they had mentioned. There are leaves that turn into bowls and thicker, kind of palm frond looking leaves that turn into plates and serving trays. Stumps kind of grow up out of the ground, large enough for you guys to sit on and be able to sit at this table, where obviously the pixies will just kind of wander about the table, eating what they will. Fresh, beautifully ripe fruits and vegetables begin to grow out of these leaves. Legumes and beans that appear to be perfectly prepared start to sprout from within the bowls. No meat to speak of, as these are not meat-eating creatures, but a beautiful vegetation spread of a meal is presented before you as the pixies begin welcoming you over to the table.
I'll walk over and I'll sit down on
This-
one of their
this
cool
is-
stools.
I wish Borky was here to eat all this.
Yes, Porky?
Oh, I'm here now because I heard there was food.
Holy crap! Who are you?
Oh, hey, boss, how's it going?
Good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, this looks so good.
Asmo just what is the big? What is there a big piece of meat on the table, Nick?
There
Not
is
at
no
all.
meat, as they are fey creatures, and
You didn't answer the question.
there is no meat.
Okay.
Unless you
There-
want to eat a pixie.
There's just beautifully ripe fruits like plums, apples, fresh wild berries. It is an assortment of colors before you, with all of these. They almost seem to be condensating, or
Yes.
they're dripping with moisture with how ripe these fruits are.
Nara
They're
is
the
in
fruits you see
single
in commercials.
spotlight, all darkness, total sadness. There's no meat.
Asmo just starts opens his mouth, just starts going, starts eating as much fruit before anyone notices.
And as you pull fruit from the various trays, it seems to replenish itself almost as quickly as you can eat it.
I have to think they've solved world hunger and they aren't sharing it.
They're sharing it with you.
That's fair. They're good guys in my book.
Nara will walk up slowly to the table, eyeing the various colored things that aren't meat, and picks the most unassuming thing from the table and eats it trepidatiously.
As you bite into this deep red ball, you are met with at first a crunch and then several pop explosions of sweet, tangy flavor protrude throughout your mouth. The skin itself is unpleasant, but the juices on the inside are incredibly sweet and delicious. A profile that you're not familiar with, but had this been something that you had grown up eating, you could see why these creatures eat it.
Under her breath.
This isn't the worst.
And then sits down.
Yeah, you're essentially eating a pomegranate.
That's what I figured.
Like an apple.
Just taking a big old bite out of a pomegranate.
The crunching
So-
leaves your teeth.
Yeah. So
It
for
reminds her of
everybody...
Crystal, so she accepts.
So for everybody who takes parts in this feast, you are granted the boon of Hero's Feast, meaning you are currently cured of all diseases and poisons that might be coursing through your system. You also are now immune from poison and being frightened for the next 24 hours.
Oh my god. Heroes Feast?
Yes, Hero's Feast. All wisdom saving throws will be made with an advantage. And I'm going to roll 2d10, and that will be added to your hit point maximum for the next 24 hours.
Ooh. That's legit.
19.
Oh, no, wait.
Whoa.
You have
Wow.
19. You have 19 bonus hit points.
So this is for
Oh my
24 hours,
God.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we listed as temporary, correct?
I'd list them as temporary because it says like you have your hit point maximum increases by 2d10, but just consider them temporary hit points that can be refilled.
So we're at 38 temp hit points right now? Or am
don't
I
think
mathing
temp
real
hit-
wrong?
no, here's the thing. This is not temp hit points. We're
No,
just putting them in the temp hit points area just for posterity's sake. Also, I have no
27.
extra health. I lost it all when Lumper Stupper fell on my head.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I mathed real wrong
Okay.
also.
So 19.
19. So it'd be 28. 28, sorry. With the temp hit points that Wolfgang gave us.
Yeah.
77 hit points I'm at right now.
While you are consuming this meal, Plum Boy comes hovering back down over toward you, Nara.
She sees him and her whole face lights up.
I may not be able to teach you properly the way my people do what we do. But, and he kind of like holds out his hand, and this tree branch, kind of like carved and imbued, glowing with this emerald green like energy, like kind of swirls down, this gust of wind kind of rising up beneath it, floats down in front of you.
Oh. What does it do?
Well, if you hop on it, it will fly.
Oh my god.
You gave me a witch's broomstick?
Yes, essentially I gave you a broom of flying, but it is just an enchanted
So-
branch.
I'm so happy for you, Nara.
Oh my god. She's like still has a pomegranate in one hand, but immediately hops on it. And starts flying around everywhere. And it's called what again?
You can label it whatever you want. Technically, stat speaking, it is a broom of flying, but it, for your case, could just be a branch of flight.
Branch of flight? I'm calling it that.
Better yet, the pixie stick.
Ooh, I like
Oh
that.
my
The pixie
god,
stick.
the pixie stick! Official name is the pixie
That
stick.
is.
All right, as you are, how
Wait.
recklessly are you flying the pixie stick?
She just goes up and does like a quick couple circles, but then evens out and very slowly comes down right next to Wolfgang, staring him dead in the eyes like, see this, bitch?
Nice stick.
Thanks.
Slowly bring up an orange and
Rind and all.
I feel like we've all gotten something out
She-
of this.
Bring
Narva
she,
will
like-
run around.
She then like does a full roll to go upside down and then goes up while upside down.
I got it.
All right, now give me an acrobatics check.
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
She's recreating the Bewitched intro. Da-da, da-da.
16! 16!
As you kind of like tilt upside down, your legs leave the broom and you're just kind of like dangling there. Uh-oh. You're trying to like shift it so like you can get back around on top of it. Like you're just very awkwardly like trying to hook your leg back up over it and trying to get it to go back the other
But
way.
still staring defiantly at Wolfgang.
Yeah, as you're trying to
Well,
kick, as you're
she's scrambling, she's still staring deadlocked at Wolfgang like, I'm still flying. So there.
yeah,
Wolfgang
eyes
is
locked on
really
the
hard trying to force himself not to smile.
chewing on his orange rind. All right, you guys get the effect of the hero's feast. Nara now has the pixie stick, and you can decide where you go when we return from a short break. Thanks for rolling with us today, guys, and big thanks to today's sponsor, Into the AM. They got a sick line of comfortable clothes with awesome style. Check the links in the description or the pinned comments to get 10% off your order and help support this channel in the process. Thanks again. Now back to the show. All right, so you guys have dined upon delicious fruits and veggies and legumes. Nara has her pixie stick now.
Yeah.
Ah, God.
What do you guys choose to do from here?
Mm.
The question is, are we going to, since it's dusk, are we going to stay the night in the town and then leave tomorrow, or are we going to leave immediately?
It is dusk, but it does not feel that late to you. I'll say that.
Nara's gonna like slowly inch next to Wolfgang.
Just hovering down slowly.
No. She'll like still be holding the broom or the stick, but like sitting on the bench and then like doing that thing where it's like not looking at him, but like moving closer to him.
So,
Senses something.
A disturbance.
so, blonde man.
Yes, Nara.
You have your tiny being that you care for.
He was sort of messing with his gloves, but he freezes at that. Yes.
I, having now had a small experience with having my own smaller being to look after.
Kimberton looks around. I want you to fly!
Wait your turn, boss.
He sort of shakes his head a little bit. Go on.
What is it like to care for something helpless?
Hey. Fuck.
Well,
Not looking at him.
if I've learned a few things about Elliot Connolly, it's that for a baby, he is far from helpless. And I look over towards Denier. But you they sort of become your world. They're all you think about, day in, day out. You want to do everything to protect them. Hell, I don't think I'd be on this journey if it wasn't for Elliot. I want to make this world a better place for him, so he doesn't have to grow up like I did.
She's like kind of still like he can only see the back of her head because she's looking the other direction.
I would throw myself in front of anything if it meant protecting that child.
You wouldn't throw the child in front of you.
No. The thought of that is so alien to me. I would gladly sacrifice my own life if it meant Elliot gets to live.
What if you thought he died when he was born?
Sort of looks down. Starts putting the pieces together in his head. I'd be devastated. I'd try everything in my power to get him back. I'd want more than anything to be able to see them again. And I would never stop loving him, even though he's gone.
You wouldn't worry more about the thing that took him away.
Oh, I'd worry about it. If it was a force of nature, something I couldn't help, well, that's unavoidable. But if it was due to the actions of another person, I don't know what I'd do. It wouldn't be good.
But wouldn't you want to see the child more than hurt the one that you thought hurt them? Wouldn't you want that more?
Of course. I want to see my baby more than anything. More than anything. Is this about Kageroshi?
I don't know. Yes.
If he really is your father, I can only imagine what he felt seeing you after so many years, thinking that you were dead. I think revenge has been on his mind for so long that he just can't let it go at this point, especially after seeing what he put you through. But I do know that he loves you. Fathers love their children. No force in the universe can stop that.
Well, I guess we will see what kind of force he becomes, and whether or not that means anything to me.
Suppose we will. I'll sort of reach out and put a hand on her shoulder.
She like shakily exhales and then really quickly stands up, still not looking at him. Says,
Thanks, Wolfgang.
and then gets on the branch and flies up to the top of a tree to sit on something up at the top.
So you do know my name.
You fly up and you find a lonely branch to look out at the moon from.
Great scene, guys.
The tall tree seems to look out just above the canopy of the rest of the forest. You can even see the moon glinting off of Platinum Peak far in the distance. What's everybody else up to?
Asmo's got the blade in his hand, and he's actually kind of alone trying to swing the new weapon he has. I'm trying to get the feel of it down in his hand, even though it's a very odd blade.
Did you just kind of like wander off on your own and like in the forest,
Well,
or are you
I'm
still
with you.
just in the middle
I'm-
of the Pixie village?
I'm kind of off by my own, but people can see me still.
Okay. As you are kind of like giving it like some test swings.
He's doing that thing where they go kind of like going like zigzags back and forth just to see and try and get the weight of it down, to see how it feels in their hand, see how much force they need to go with it.
It's slightly heavier than the blades you're used to wielding. As you swing it, you continually catch like a glance at your reflection. As you're swinging, you can see the reflection kind of like holding the sword like at the end of your arm from the other side. You continue like swinging and testing the blade, and at some point the blade connects with something in the air.
What was it?
As if it was like you see almost kind of like for a split second, the image that you saw in the reflection of the blade seemed to echo outward as if you are holding a blade against yourself.
Interesting. An odd blade, to say the least.
This is what I get for trying to wield something that isn't in
From here, Asmo just keeps trying with it.
Doesn't seem to happen again as you're continuing to test the blade.
Yeah, no, because I'm trying to like. Okay, so like it felt like the blade was against my throat then.
It felt like you had just crossed blades with yourself for a moment.
Okay, man.
As if you had caught yourself in a parry.
Interesting. Asmo sheaths it across his arm, going, "All right, I have no idea what that is all about. We'll find out later, I guess."
cross blades with myself.
Scratching his head.
With everybody seeming to be in their own head and doing their own thing, Daenerys kind of settled down near where the pixies are doing their thing with the sigil orb, and he's just pulled out book, ink quill, and a scroll, and he's just been scribing into it.
Okay. Spend your evening studying the arcane habits of the pixies.
Well, I'm scribing a spell from a scroll into the book.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if we are staying overnight, I've got my own thing to do with a dream. But I don't know if we're staying overnight or if we're leaving or not.
Wolfgang, what are you up to after your conversation with Nara?
Seeing Nara fly up into the treetops, he sort of wanders off and pulls off his glove, and he looks at a ring on his finger. It's a gold band, and inlaid inside of it is a seed encased in amber. He just fiddles with it for a moment, looking down at it. balls his hand into a fist before gloving his hand back again. And we're settling down for the night, correct?
It appears as though nobody has any interest in leaving for the night.
Well, I guess above game, like, do you guys want to talk above or in character right now about where we go next?
You know what? I would assume that the next step would be to follow the flyer to get to the Wandering Weasel while we head deeper into the Feywild.
That sounds like our next safest bet.
Because right now we don't have a lead on the guide to get us to Arcanus.
Yeah, Tom could probably help with that, and we could let him know about the stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
This one's still like looking at the blade.
He knows all about weird magical stuff, right?
I'd imagine so.
All right, well,
Imagine he knows about a lot.
there's something fucked up with this blade.
What do you mean?
Nah, I can't even describe it. I was practice swinging with it. In the middle of practice swinging, I felt like I clasped with another sword, but there was no one in front of me, and just a reflection was looking back at me. I mean, it's a blade from another place, another land, so I shouldn't be shocked that it does this.
Yeah, that thing is weird. I couldn't get a hold of it.
Listen, we can either leave it in that cave, for God knows who would come along and get it, or I can have it. At least you know it's a problem now.
So,
Now we'll see what's up with this bad boy.
during the fight with the mind flayers, did we notice any weird properties about the blade other than that it was clearly alien?
Other than the fact that it emitted a type of black flame, nobody actually got hit with it.
That is interesting. No one got hit with that blade. I'm trying to remember that fight now.
It was you and it face to face.
Mm-hmm.
You're being super defensive and super tanky.
Yep.
Okay.
In my roll.
So we're not setting out tonight.
I'd be happy with either. I've got plans on if we're setting out tonight for the Wandering Weasel or not.
If we're going early in the morning. I want to get out of here.
It's
Early morning.
We could set off right now.
I mean,
If we're worried about protection, don't worry. I have us covered in that front.
we're in a Fey village with a bunch of fairies. I would have assumed they would have said something if something bad was happening.
Well, they might not know. They didn't know what was happening with the mind flayers, so...
To be fair, we didn't fully know what was going on to the mind flayers, and I still don't know what this sword does. So to be fair.
So... What do you think? Denier, head out right now?
I'm good for heading out right now, but I don't mind if we stay the night either. I've got plans for either way. If
Nara!
What are you yelling for, Nara?
Get her opinion.
That's what?
Asma just looks at like Wolfgang in surprise. All right. Not because of Nara's opinion, because Wolfgang wants to hear Nara's opinion. It's like, oh, wow.
Oh, she's traveling with us, so... Might as well. Nara!
What?
Would you be alright with heading out right now?
She floats down onto the stick.
Whatever you think is the best choice.
Sort
Asma
of looks
just
at
kind of
Asma.
looks to the guys.
Yeah, Wolfgang looking expectantly.
All right, do we head out tonight, or do we spend the night and head out early in the morning?
Let's head out tonight.
Tonight it is. All right, I'm gonna go try and scram a bunch of those fruit in a bag.
Lani, how long has it been since we've kind of been, doing our own things?
It's you're probably about an hour into the feast.
Okay.
Ooh.
So Denier is going to ritual cast. So we're about an hour. So I'm about halfway through there. Denier ritual casts, and he ritual casts a few phantom steeds for everybody.
Ooh.
So he reaches into the depths, and before him begins to manifest a very strange entity. It looks like a large bear, but along its entire back appears to be these thick armor-like plates. Denier summons an armadillo bear.
Aw.
Whoa.
Denier continues to play God. And
The gator, he loves his gator horses, and so now he's summoning an armadillo bear.
I see.
So as they begin to form out of the ether that is, that makes up the magical essence of this land, these spectral bears with hardened carapace on their back begin just kind of roaming about and just sniffing. One kind of wanders up to the table and tries in vain to eat. Its spectral maw simply grazing through the fruit.
Denier slightly petting his armadillo bear as he looks over towards the others. So, these should be able to help out a little bit.
Yes, they will, Denier.
Plum Boy takes notice as this creature is trying to make its way onto the table. Oh! I take it you're heading out.
Yeah, we really want to get a hold of the person that can... We got a lead on a person that might be able to help out with the sigil stone. And this is a time of the essence kind of thing.
I understand. We'll keep an eye on Kimberton. He says, kind of looking over his shoulder at Kimberton, who is now flying with the aid of fairy magic. Look at me go! As, several fairies continue to chase him down.
Oh my god.
We forgot to attach the rope first, and, well, we're learning that now.
I'm
If
sure you'll have a lot to learn from each other.
If he asks about you, should he remember, we'll make sure to let him know that you're fine.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for everything. I don't know what my people would... I don't know if my people would still be without you.
We're happy to help out how we can when we can.
Well, you'll always be friends to our folk.
We appreciate it.
Nara looks up and smiles in a way that it doesn't reach her eyes, but says,
Thanks for the stick.
Use it well. And Plum Boy just kind of reaches his hand down to you, Denier.
Denier reaches his hand out, or, well, a finger probably.
Yeah, he grabs your finger, and you can feel this vibrant, this sensation, this arcane pact form between you two. You now have the ability to summon pixies with your summon fey creature.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good!
Pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
You'll
The
always
pact.
be a friend.
I guess you could say that the pact is sealed. Their power is now mine.
if you want to put it that way.
It's a Connor reference.
I sneeze.
I sneeze. Achoo.
Denier nods, smiling rather happily. Thank you, Plum Boy. Hopefully things will get back to normal for you. I'll be checking on you every now and again. After all, we have to make sure that you're a proper ruler after all, won't we?
I'll try to do my parents proud.
I believe you already have.
I hope so. Wherever they are now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, off with you. The world ain't gonna save itself now, is it?
Suppose not. All right, gang. Let's head out.
Denier mounts up.
All right, Waffle Starper, come here.
He's off, like being chased around right now by these other pixies.
No,
you see
we
him
must
like
catch him.
Problem.
you see him rounding a corner as you're about to mount a bear. Hey, you can't catch me, whoever you are!
Come with me, but you'll have to work for me.
Oh my god. Are you trying to get him to come with us?
Yeah.
What?
Wumper Stump like
He must live with me and be my roommate.
Wumper Stump flies and does like that Vegeta arm cross in front of you. And who might you be?
A man who's on an adventure.
What kind of adventure?
One where there's lots and lots and lots of people who like red caps.
Give me a deception check.
Oh my god.
Do you guys above game? Do you want me to not want him to come with us? Because I love him. Like I
We-
fucking
we-
love this character.
we
This is
told
my
her-
favorite.
We already discussed leaving him here.
Yeah. We had a whole
Okay,
conversation.
because Aswa's going to intentionally fail. Then As just puts his hand on his
You're a
shoulder.
bad liar. Nobody likes us.
Oh, that's true.
I'm gonna miss him.
Asma just says I'm gonna miss him, guys. There's something about him.
Gives you a reason to come back.
He's just
Like,
picking, like as you turn around, he's picking his nose with his ring finger of all fingers.
Oh god, that's extra level of trash. Just
I don't miss him anymore.
Nara doesn't even turn.
Look at
In
him.
fact, I'm glad we're leaving.
He's beautiful.
So, who do you prefer more, him or Pip?
At least Pip has.
Pip is great.
Pip is understandable. In some senses.
No, he's not.
So-
No,
so-
he's not.
so-
No, he's
me-
not.
me- meanwhile, sitting around,
fist.
sitting around a campfire with Lush. Achoo!
All right. Yeah.
Nara has already mounted up and just starts going in a direction.
done.
Fuck.
Done.
Now, here's the
here we go.
question. Bear or stick?
Oh, she used the stick to fly up onto the bear.
The stick, stats-wise, I believe has a top flight speed of 50 feet per round. I think your spectral steeds are significantly faster.
Okay. Top speed of 50
there's a-
feet per round.
Yeah, 50 feet. The stick itself weighs about 3 pounds. Once you straddle it, you speak a command word of your choosing, and it will take to the air with you upon it.
Okay.
Yeah, the bears have a speed of 100 feet per round, and that's not if they're dashing.
Okay, so the bear will definitely be faster.
Yeah. So, yeah, she literally just uses a stick to fly onto the bear and then sits on the bear. But while they're having this Kimberton conversation, she just assumes the direction they're supposed to be going and just starts going.
Nara starts wandering out of town on her armadillo bear. Which really fucking moves.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
Better hope that thing doesn't roll up into a ball.
Yeah.
Nara, roll me 1d8.
oh, okay. 2.
All right. Nara is wandering away in a northeasterly direction.
Let's just head that way.
I'll follow after.
All right, you begin following Nara.
Now I'm going to use the bird.
Mhm.
What direction is the bird point us at?
The bird is slower than your bear, but it does seem to be flying the direction that you are going.
Okay. I will stop every so often and use the bird as basically a compass to point us in the right direction.
All right. As the evening shifts back to twilight, back to evening, back to twilight, you continue traveling through the woods. Further and further in, continuously in northeasterly direction. The canopy above you is like thick with trees. You can't even see the sky anymore. Just kind of like that ambient light that leaks around. The ambient starlight, ambient whatever magical light seems to be leaking through these trees. About an hour or so into your journey, go ahead and make me a perception check, whoever would care to.
24.
Oh,
Nat
geez.
1.
Daenerys is focused far too heavily on the bird and making sure you are continuously going in the right direction.
My bad.
Well, thank you so much for that, Daniel. That's very kind of you to do that. But
That is 2 Nat 1s in a row, by the way.
Oh my god.
Here I go.
Are you?
19.
And here I go. Oh my god, what is today?
Asmo, you are like riding on the back of your bear. You just got your kind of like legs crossed on the back of the thing's head, your arms folded behind your neck as you're just kind of resting. Letting the bear take care of all the work and follow the rest of the bears. Wolfgang and Nara, you notice a single yellow leaf falling from the canopy.
Oh.
As you get closer and closer to the destination, Nara, you are the first person to recognize the sign sticking out of a very old oak tree. Very large, like probably about 10 to 15 feet in circumference.
Okay.
Big old tree. You see the sign of the Wandering Weasel.
Wow.
Wolfgang, you notice shortly after.
Nara, just like as soon as she sees it, she just doesn't even say anything. She just dismounts and starts heading for the door.
Well. Oh.
Under your
Oh, no.
feet, more and more yellow leaves, have been accumulating as you've gotten closer to the weasel.
Does the air feel cooler here?
Give me a nature check.
Oh, jeez. Don't hear that all that often. Here I go.
Don't find reason for it all that often with you, Big Yellow Party.
13?
It does feel cooler, but you can't tell if it's because it's night or if it's just the weather.
Okay. I'll follow Nara then. Detect magic, though. I'll have that up.
The obvious and most brimming source of magic outside of the things that you have on your persons is the door and sign to the weasel itself.
Okay. I'll just have that up.
All right. Once again, you guys approach the door of the Wandering Weasel.
Hey guys, this is really weird. The bird keeps on sending me in a direction, Daenerys says as he's walking in a circle around the tree.
Constantly pecking at the tree. Peck, 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 peck.
Did I
Eventually,
already find the door? Or
Yeah, you found the door, but you haven't said anything to Daenerys,
Oh, no,
who I guess is just blindly
no.
staring at the bird.
if she found the door, she's already inside.
Oh, well,
Aswa gets off his gator.
You hear Nara open the door, and for a moment you hear, "What?" Door slams.
Yep.
Aswa stops and remembers.
Slams it right behind her.
Meanwhile, Nara, on your end, door opens and closes.
Welcome to the
She
Wandering
immediately puts up
Weasel!
her finger while he is mid-sentence.
He doesn't
And then-
stop.
At first was going to ask him to stop, but then it goes,
A drink.
and then just walks up to the bar and then puts her hand on it.
Around the bar, there are a few different creatures, some of which you had not seen before. There are what appear to be like a few satyrs standing around a high top table near the front of the pub, as well as some elves of very interesting looking origin. One seems to have this like hair that appears to be made out of pine needles. Their skin bleach white, and a lot of their clothing appears to be very like very frilly, like, again, very much so like made out of like pine needles and winter trees and bushes. There's like decorations of holly and like mistletoe like embroidered throughout their clothing that are made out of plants, essentially. With them is a orange-skinned elf, hair made out of what looks to be like dying leaves, and clothing of various fall colors weaved together through various vines and plants. And bringing a couple of drinks from the bar over to their table is a green-skinned elf with this one is also a female, like the winter one. This one has, yes, green-skinned elf. They have what appear to be like newly budding flowers kind of like growing all about their head, and bright green vegetation mocked up for their clothing. But as you walk up to the bar, Tom looks you over.
Been a while.
Yeah.
So what'll it be?
I don't know, you're some kind of omnipotent whatever.
I wouldn't say omnipotent. I don't know what everyone wants.
Well,
He does, though. He does what everyone wants.
I need a drink.
Well, that we have plenty.
Yes.
Then she was looking up at the ceiling and then slowly looks at him, and she goes,
Whatever.
I like it. Whatever.
Do the rest of you also enter the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Asmo came in afterwards.
Yeah, as the three of you open the door, he like as he's like looking down to see what he has to give to Nara.
Welcome to the Wandering Weasel.
Denier takes 10 minutes outside to to ritual cast Find Familiar and turn Eska back into a weasel before he comes in.
10 minutes later, Denier enters the bar. Welcome to the Wandering Weasel.
God, it's so exhausting.
Domina Pombus as I live and breathe. Denier
So you
wanders
do.
over,
Always a
And he-
surprise.
extends an arm out to the bar to give Eska a basically a ramp to get onto the bar.
Eska like scrambles down onto the bar.
Ah, there you are, my old friend. Ah, you flew for a moment. How fascinating.
Nara puts her face on the bar.
Tom has already given you basically, As it's taken 10 minutes, I'm guessing at least 2 glasses of wine.
Asmo sits down at the bar as well. After just like...
She has already drank both of them.
And he is serving you up a third.
Are the satyrs familiar to me, Lani?
As in, do you recognize them?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I was
I
wanting
mean,
to check.
you recognize them as satyrs.
Okay. I was checking to see if by chance Chimby had wandered himself in.
Not so much, as it would seem.
Nara's hand is on the wine glass, and as she hears him come up to pour another one, she lifts her face, puts up a hand, and is like, no, and then points at the bottle.
It's
And
not
then
my tab. He sets it down.
Does the grabby hands and then takes it, tosses it back.
He goes over to a ledger and marks down a few things.
I paid the last tab. I'm not paying the next one. And Denier settles down at the bar.
Nara's too busy drinking to hear you.
Hey, Tom, before the drinks, I got $1 million question. I got $1 million gold question for you.
How profitable.
Asmo pulls out the blade and just places it on the table. Asmo pulls out the blade with both his hands.
Don't touch it, it's weird.
I want you to give me an insight check.
Oh, an insight check for... Oh, okay.
Eh.
4.
For a moment, Tom pauses. His demeanor doesn't seem to shift to you too much. Fascinating. Where did you come by this?
That's a funny thing. You know, where you usually do, in a cave, you know, by a portal to another dimension.
Interesting.
It's been a wild couple days. Yeah, we just got back from the Feywilds, and yeah, it lived up to that name.
Oh, so you've met Arcanos.
I don't know if I've met him, but I was looks down at the other guys. Yeah?
Well, if we did meet Arcanos, he was meaner and squiddier than I thought he was going to be.
That's true.
Well, then I don't feel like you've been to the Feywilds, boys.
No.
Right now, we are
sir.
sitting at the...
That wasn't the Feywilds?
No.
Oh my.
We're at like the entrance of the Feywild.
Oh my.
I was like the
Tom
Fey
taps
mild.
Yeah,
Oh my
Tom taps his nose and points over to Denier. Yes, right now all you're experiencing are the things that are bleeding over from the Feywilds.
Well, consider
And-
this one of those things.
I don't think so, Tom says.
What is it?
I'll let anybody roll an insight check on that one.
Nara will be mildly listening just because the cool sword is back. What are we rolling again?
Insight.
Insight?
24.
26 natural 20.
Ooh.
Fuck you, Asmo. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck piece of shit.
Asmo has given up a long time ago on reading Tom. Wolfgang, Denier, Nara, you get a sense of, like, not necessarily, like, other than, like, his genuine curiosity, a sense of puzzlement, which is not normally found in Tom, and maybe, Nara, almost even a hint of dread.
It's not from his dimension, it's from another one. So, it's an unknown.
She just kind of, she puts the bottle, she like clunks it on the table. It's like, gestures with a whole hand at his face.
What's that about?
What's what? What's what about?
You know what I fucking mean. The face you just made, what is it? Just fucking tell us.
I did not expect to see anything from here.
What is there?
Yeah, what's there?
Let's not be vague. I am so not in the mood.
He looks around the bar. He
Stick
snaps his fingers, and everything around you seems to pause.
Oh shit, Tom's about to spill the tea.
Okay, God god stuff's going on.
What just happened?
My full and undivided attention is now right here.
Nara's like already touching her head a bit and is like, "Thank you for that."
The wielders of these artifacts, they aren't of this, or for any accountability, really any world.
Uh-huh.
I believe they called it the Void.
Boy.
They mentioned they were trying to find a new place to settle down.
A realm of madness and nightmare.
So we're on
gonna,
tentacles.
brain fuck everybody or something. I think.
Why does that sound familiar?
Tom just looks over to you. Why does it?
Nara puts her hands on both temples. Oh my god.
Should have drank after the explanation there, Nara.
So why vague? Why be vague? You stopped time to tell us this shit.
I'm not being vague. I'm genuinely asking a question. Why does it seem familiar to you?
Well, madness and nightmare seems to follow you know who.
Every time I've encountered the Bleeding God directly, it's been inside of the realm of dreams.
And
So-
there's plenty of madness to go around from that particular tree.
What
Perhaps.
tree?
Tom keeps like pausing every time you move and just like wail.
At the same time, they didn't really seem like the usual type.
Perhaps the
different.
bleeding god is a beacon to them. Something akin, but not quite the same. In spirit, but not body.
To the squids and the flap sheets?
What's a flap sheet? Tom just kind of like leans down and smiles towards you.
As though they like wrap around people and then they like eat their brain kind of. And
Whatever-
then they fight them.
Whatever these things did, apparently they have a transmigrative effect. These little babies. And apparently if one is applied to a pixie, Denier opens up his hand and shows a minor image of a cloaker. It becomes one of these. There
What?
was an invasion force that came through recently, and we managed to force it back through. There were creatures like this. He shows, in one hand he shows a picture of the mind flayers, in one hand he shows a picture of the gnomish mind flayers, and then the vision shifts to the best what he has of the visual of the aboleth, which probably isn't much.
They came out of the thing because the rock, the little pixie globe rock got messed. So they took it. They took it.
Right. That's the other thing we needed to talk to you about.
You gotta fix the
Oh.
rock, Tom. You gotta fix it. It's broke. The rock's broke.
Right.
It broke, and it can't put it in the thing, so it's bad. So fix it.
Well, it is always nice to be owed a favor by the pixies.
Right, good folk. Apparently the red caps, controlled by whatever those things are, broke the sigil stone and then stole it. And from what I was able to gather, the sigil stones kind of act as a band-aid of the natural rifts between worlds that is all over the Feywild.
Yep, that about adds up. Well spoken. And you're sure that you did away with this invading force?
Denier holds up the the staff, banished at least 2 of them myself, and I closed the portal. If there was anything on the way out, we destroyed as many of their younglings as we could. If there's any that were still around, they weren't in that cave.
We sent a couple bodies to my master too. Fucking master.
Tom's eyebrows raise at that. Did you now?
Yeah, it's
No.
probably stupid.
Yeah, that's probably not the best idea. But I was focused on sealing the rift above anything else.
Yeah.
Well, these are very interesting times we live in. He snaps his fingers again as time begins to move back around you.
That's a cool trick.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah. Bottle goes up again.
Go ahead and make me a Constitution check.
Check. Okay.
Yeah, just a check.
3! Natural 1!
You are, like...
The curse.
Not only are you definitely at the end of your day right now, but you have drank a lot of wine.
So, when she throws the bottle up to keep drinking, she literally falls back off of the stool and, like, plants full body, like, completely distributed weight on her back and just, like, passes the fuck out.
Yeah, Nara is now on the ground of the bar.
Still holding the wine bottle.
Okay, hey, Tom, can you get like the ghost to deal with that and get her to bed?
They aren't ghosts.
The specters. I don't know what they're officially called.
Ladies! He claps his hands as the invisible servants who are clad in essentially like they're basically like Eve attire, where like they just kind of got like leaves and stuff covering the naughty bits, even though they're invisible. Tom just kind of like ushers a few of them over to grab Nara and carry Nara up to her room, and they do so.
Fascinating creatures, those. I've been doing my own research. Dinier gives a little bit of a smile.
Very useful. A wonderful staff to have around the place.
Tom, I have a question for you, and this is going to seem a little bit strange.
We live in strange times.
So I'm fairly sure that in our encounters, you are a little bit aware of what I've been dabbling in and exploring in. Across every single one of my experiments in the dream world, of all the people I've met, of all the people that I've come across, Denier looks up at Tom. You are the only one that has cognizant, that has your mind and actually realizes what's going on.
Am I?
Even Lush, even the copies of Lush didn't remember. He gives a little bit of a smile.
And what do you make of that?
I believe that you're a dreamer like me. Or at the very least, I had my theories for quite a time. I believe that you were a being of time and space previously. But I think that you're aware of more than you let on. I know that you're aware of more than you let on.
You haven't even answered this question about the store on this blade.
Asmo says, winking to Denier to kind of agree with him.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
I could analyze that blade if you so wish.
Be careful when you touch it. It's weird. Okay, so I didn't tell you guys this, but like I see my face in the blade, but it makes different facial expressions from me. It's a bit odd.
What?
Yeah, you fucking heard me, right? At least this one isn't in love with me.
That you know of, Tom says, just kind of like slyly winking at you.
Asmo gulps. Dating a blade would be hard.
That's fair enough.
Literally.
He looks over the blade. He'll essentially let you know that this blade, when activated, it is a +1 weapon.
Okay.
But if you successfully strike a foe with it, should you be in balance with the blade, which you don't know if you are yet or not,
Interesting. Okay.
you can essentially stun the target. Like, it has the effect of the Mind Flayer's, like, brain shock in a stunning sense, but
Okay.
while that is going on, they are locked in their own head with a dark mirror of themselves.
Now, how often can this ability be activated?
In
time the sword-
perpetuity.
Wow.
Oh my
so
god.
okay, so this is
It has a Wisdom save DC 13.
Well, that's not too bad, I guess.
no, that's not too bad. But
Versus being stunned for 1d6 rounds.
I will say that in the context of this weapon right now, if we are this weapon's fantastic for a really big enemy. I do believe that this is going to be not usable on big bosses, but I believe big mobs. This is going to be really usable on. I could see this being pretty fantastic, but I can see this being essentially inusable when it comes to boss characters.
Yeah. Caveat: anybody that makes the save or makes it out of the effect is now immune. Then immune to the effect.
I like that. Okay, good. I like that. So I can't just keep spamming it. Okay, I like that. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Interesting.
I get that's a good. Nick. Yeah, that's really good. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah,
we
you're
call
gonna
it
have to
Void.
find a way to attune yourself to the blade first, though.
That'll be a fun
And
story part. Yay.
Right now, you're there's something going on with it. Anyway.
Having been on the opposite end of that, ow. I don't like it.
As for your inquiry, Denier,
Mm-hmm. I think I have a theory that maybe it's just me in my own headspace. I believe the waking world is just a dream in and of itself.
Give me
And
an
I believe-
insight check when you say that.
All right. Come on, Denier. 12.
For a fraction of a second, you thought you saw the smallest smile crawl across, like, the side of his cheek.
Hmm. Huh. And I was curious if you had any insight into that.
something tells me you'll learn everything you need to know soon. Why
Also,
spoil the story?
Because some people do that.
Well, I find it unconscionable.
Always the purist.
It's called cinema. It's an experience.
Something appears to be on your mind too, Mr. Connolly.
None of this existential stuff, at the very least. I'm just focused on what needs to be done, the task at hand.
Well, your cousin would certainly be happy to see you if you catch up to him.
He's already here.
He ran ahead of me some time ago. Said I was too slow, having to stop every evening. Blah, blah, blah.
Stubborn bastard. Hope he learns to slow down even now. How far out would you say he is?
He probably has a 3 or 4 day head start from here. Of course, I'm not sure at this point if we're following the same trail or not. But if you're heading towards the mountains, it'll probably be the right direction. I believe that's where his quarry was heading.
Right.
If we head towards the mountains, will we run into any of the Archfae's territories?
Now that you can see a visible smile crawl across his face.
I'd worry less about them you running across their territories and their territories running across you.
With that, you can hear the door kind of like tremble and shake as the bell rings and rings.
Right on time.
The door flings open, and a icy gust of wind swirls through the building. All of the lights seem to dim for a moment as this tall woman with very sharp elven features, her nose almost beak-like, her skin paper white, a crown of ice sitting upon her head, a dress of frost and snow clinging to her sleek and elegant body. She seems to stand like nearly as tall as Hresh and as thin and lithe as Lady Tia. Her presence... I want everybody to make a Constitution save.
Lani, I am wearing the bomber jacket of warming, and it does give me cold resistance. Does this
That's
affect
neat.
it?
I want you to give me a con save.
Fair enough. I didn't know if it would give me advantage or not. 12.
Here I go. 15.
I ain't there.
You are not there, Nara.
She's
But as you are like placed on, like you've been placed onto your bed, and you feel this kind of like shiver ring through the air as you kind of like bundle more blankets on top of you. Asmo, Constitution save.
Oh, I'm probably gonna need it right now.
Everybody except Wolfgang right now takes 14 points of cold damage
Wow!
as frostbite whips through the air.
Oh, so mine's 20. Shoot.
Oh my god. I don't know if I can do this, but like in that drunken now it's extra cold, she is gonna remember that hot tub's there and
You are asleep. You are asleep.
I'm out. Okay.
Yeah,
I
you rolled a
figured.
nat 1 on your drinking roll.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, never mind. Forgot it was that bad.
And with that, Tom looks up at this icy, stern-looking woman.
Welcome to the Wandering Weasel!
And here is where we will end today's session.